visual thinking can be considered an effective communication tool to improve consistency in businesses, but also just general problem solving. And so if you think about it, we all do some form of visual thinking. Every time we walk into a room, we start to absorb the information around us, decisions about what the visuals around us mean, and we decide what relationships they have to us. And visual thinking is just taking that and applying it to business concepts or ideologies or processes as well.
Great.
Yeah.
So what are the benefits of using visual thinking?
Information can get complex really fast, especially where we are at having access to information. And visual thinking can actually simplify that complexity in a way so that you're learning or what you're teaching or your problem in a way that answers traditional questions that we have: who, what, when, why, how, or how much. It can be applied to data, and it can also be applied to those concepts or processes I talked about. So it allows us to increase comprehension. It gives our messages a little more stickiness, and it can even, the visuals can allow you to create more emotional connection to your information, and it allows for people to learn a little more easily. One example I have is to help people understand why it's beneficial is that objectifying information. And if you and a friend were not in quarantine and you were going for a ride in a car somewhere, you could probably argue about how far you are from your destination if you had no map. But as soon as you have a map, it objectively tells you where you are in relation to where you want to go. And so the visual is actually helping you objectify and create a baseline of common understanding. And so if you got it in your business, can allow the business to get on the same baseline of understanding, so more effective decision making can happen, or just you make sure that everyone has a universal understanding.
You're using your time wisely. I love it. So now I think it's time to wrap it up and check what is our lovely artist doing. Hello, Michelle.
I try to keep it simple because I think it's really important. The message is anyone can do this. I mean, I just was literally scribbling away. There's Amy in the middle. This way. Yeah. Okay. I started going that way. You look, there's your popcorn, Beata.
I just love so much. And the fact that we've got red lips and it definitely reflects our smiles. Fantastic. So we want you to succeed. This is the message that we always repeat. This is not zero-sum game. This is a time to reflect. This is a time to get back to basics. Question is, what are the basic tools you need and how to start the visual thinking process? Just to wrap it up.
The basics are, you can start as low tech as you want. If you have a pen and paper, you can do this. If nothing else, to help you process information. The basic is, I think, being aware of the information around you and starting to collect that information and record it. You can write it down in your phone. You can write it down in a notebook. I keep one of these with me at all times. And you can start there. You can use creative tools that are free, something like Canva. You can use Google Slides if that's what you have available to you. That part, use what you have. If you have design skills, you can polish and polish. If not, you can just start with the simple construct of how do things relate to one another? How do I combine information in a way that is easy and simple to understand, sort of like the essence of your idea, and you start at the top and then you peel back the layers of what you're trying to communicate.
How many kids nowadays are dwindled into the mold of not creative thinking, of not using their imagination? Michelle, you've been in the education system.
Yes, you could say I've been in the education system for about 30 years.
Just to give you a little bit of background, Michelle has been also advisor of Ministry of Education in Malta. She's very modest.
Well, I'm doing my fashion now. At schools, we are taught to stay within the lines. Entrepreneurship is exactly the opposite. You can't stay within the lines to innovate. I agree completely, Beata, with you, but we do teach kids. You have to stay in the lines, you have to conform, you have to, what is expected out of you. Yeah.
One final, I think, thought of today is to reconnect with your imagination, because I think the current structure is not allowing us to think freely.